This is More Knowledge, More Wealth with your host, Gabriel Shahin. Gabriel is a certified financial planner and a registered investment advisor at Falcon Wealth Planning. This show does not intend to provide personalized investment advice through this broadcast and does not represent that the services or securities discussed are suitable for any investor. Investors are advised not to rely on any information contained in the broadcast in the process of making a full informed investment decision. Now here's your host, Gabriel Shahin.
Lots to talk about today, folks. We're going to talk about retirement. We're going to talk about what these markets have done to your accounts. Everybody's freaking out. We're now in a situation where we have a trade war with China and people are not feeling good about it. You have China, quite frankly, that are imposing now new restrictions and tariffs on America, and we are doing the same to them. In addition to that, we now have an issue with NVIDIA not even getting access to their certain chips that they need to run some of their business, which is why you've seen their stock drop 10+% just this week, and not even talking about the 40 to 50% drop it's already at year to date. So what does this all mean, right? Because we're seeing now China and America butting heads. You're seeing China selling our treasuries. Our 10-year treasury was under 4% for a period of time. Now it's hovering around 4.5%. That's a really big volatility. That's a 10% plus swing. So yes, that does matter quite a bit. And this affects us now when we're looking to buy a house, where you could have probably got a mortgage in the 5%. Now it's back in the 7% range. All of this matters for you. And I received a message over this past week from Melissa W., who asked, I'm 63 years old. When's the best time to retire? Now, the right answer for that is yesterday. I mean, that's right. People should be retiring whenever they can, but can you retire is the question. Now, from a big picture point of view, assuming you have the money to retire, then yes, yesterday. But realistically, 65 years old has always been that money age for retirement. Why? Don't you hear that often, 65? Because that's when health insurance kicks in through Medicare. That is truly the most logical time to retire. And it makes sense. Now, there's also other things to consider, because the follow-up question, once you say 65, is, when do I take my Social Security? The answer is always going to be, it depends. It depends on your situation. It depends on what you're leaving on the table. Because also, if you do take your Social Security early, the biggest issue is what? Is that you are now restricted on how much money you can make until your full retirement age. For example, you can only make $20,000 of earned income. So yes, there are multiple variables that come into place. But let's take a massive step back. Let's say the market drops 10 to 20+%. Does that sound familiar? Maybe now is not the best time to retire. Are you going to be selling your investments while they're down to live off that incoming investment income? So that's where the big question comes into play. Is your portfolio prepared for someone who is going to be retiring in the next 1 to 3 years? This is where people go from a DIYer to looking for a financial partner. And it makes all the sense in the world. I get it. This is my job. In the most unbiased way possible, which quite frankly, I'm tilted as a financial planner to tell you, you probably need a financial plan. The question is do you need a financial planner? And that is based on the complexity of your situation. And are you really being proactive with your financial situation? Like, did you experience a 10 to 20+% drop in your portfolio? I just had one of my neighbors call me and tell me they've experienced a 50% drop in their portfolio year to date. I wanted to ask, what the hell are you investing in to experience a 50% drop over 2 to 3 times more of a drop than the stock market in general? This is what I see far too often. The whole question of retirement, it depends on you and your situation. And what I know is everybody's situation just got punched in the face. Didn't destroy your retirement, didn't kill your retirement. Hopefully it didn't, unless you were investing like a fool. But is it really the best time to take advantage of these markets for retiring now or taking advantage on things on sale? By the way, folks, if you're just joining, you're listening to Gabriel Shahin, Certified Financial Planner, and your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth here on every weekend. And we're talking about all important topics of personal finance. And the concept today is talking about what's going on in the market and how can you prepare yourself for retirement. If you're already in retirement, I sure hope you're not invested in 100% stock. Or if you are you living off your portfolio? Are you still drawing down on cash? Do you have other sources of income coming in? Each situation is so detailed and specific to you. But the thing is right now there are advantages. I had that same neighbor tell me, I hope he doesn't listen to this show. I'll hold his name back. He'll know as the show is airing that he sold his stock while it was down and bought gold. He literally sold low and bought gold high. I want to ask you a question. Would you rather be the person to sell low and buy high, or the person that sells high and buys low? The crazy part about emotional investing and why Peter Thiel had a Nobel Prize giving a research paper in 2016 on behavioral finance is because it's true. People freak out. You can probably do a better job managing my money than I can on my own money. Because when I manage my own money, I'm thinking of what that money is going to do for me and my family, how it's going to help. In the reality is you could do a better job because you, quite frankly, don't care and think about my life with that money. You stay disciplined. And it's the same reason when an attorney gets in trouble, they don't represent themselves in court. They hire another attorney to represent them. It's like why a surgeon typically doesn't operate on their own child. There's too much emotional connection there where they can mess up. If you even look at the mistakes you've made in your personal life, it's probably based on emotion. This is human nature. That doesn't mean you're a freak. That means you're freaking normal. And the reality is every single person goes through this. What you have to decide is, are you emotionally stable? Now, don't turn to your spouse and say you're the crazy one. I'm saying when it comes to discipline on your investments, are you emotionally stable? Are you able to be emotionally and financially disciplined? That's what I'm talking about. And when you take a look and understand your financial picture and you're able to buy and sell, think about it. I'm suggesting you sell your winners and buy your losers. The thing that had the investment that made you lose 10, 20, 50%, telling you to buy that. And the only thing that's making you money, that's making you happy to sell, it's counterintuitive. It's not logical. It's not realistic if you think about it. But in investing, that's how it works. This is why it makes sense to talk and work with a professional. Because this is what we do. This is what we study, this is what we breathe, and this is what we execute on. And we've seen our clients come back and say, thank you. I hear clients that say, my account cannot drop under X amount of dollars. If it does, go in all cash. Respectfully, not only will I not go in all cash, but I'm going to buy more of the stock. And you will thank me later, because I'm not buying companies, individual stocks that are not in business or that won't be in business tomorrow. Think about it. In that same logic, imagine if you bought Toys R Us or Bear Stearns, Lehman Brothers, Washington Mutual on its way down. Your money would have gone to zero. Versus buying an index, buying the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ. Those are the popular names of the indexes. Buying those indices cannot go to zero. So when you look at retirement, it starts with discipline and execution. It always ends with execution, because you can talk all you want about all your goals, all your ambitions, and all the things that you want to achieve. But if you don't start executing, and it's hard to, because it's such a small first step, whether it's you want to lose weight and go into the gym, it's that first step of working out, the uncomfortableness. Saving money, which means you have to take that step back. You have to find ways to cut money so you can save money. Or truly learning about investing. Opening up that account at your local brokerage account just to have money to get started. It's the individual stock, which is where you see on social media where people are making a bunch of money. That's 1% of the folks out there. In reality, nobody has that crystal ball. Nobody knows when the market's going to go up or when it's going to go down. Nobody has it. If they say they do, they're lying to you. Or they have mental issues. They're lying, dude. They're crazy, right? Nobody knows. The other thing nobody knows is what stock is going to go well. You just don't know. It's lucky, and academic research has proven that. So stay disciplined. And when we come back, we're going to talk about additional ways that you should be looking at your portfolio, things that you should look at right now as the markets are volatile, and what you should be doing. We'll be right back after a quick break. Welcome back, folks. This is Gabriel Shahin, Certified Financial Planner, and your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth here on every week. And we're talking about all important topics of personal finance. And such a great time to talk about the markets and to talk about retirement. It seems like 2025 was like the year, middle of the decade, right, of people who wanted to retire. Heck, you have baby boomers, the biggest generation of people right now, and they are retiring. You have 10,000 Americans turning every single day 65 years old for the next almost 15 years. Yeah, retirement is big right now. I get it. So it makes sense people are freaking out. Well, they're freaking out for two reasons. Number one, just politics in general just seems to razz everybody up, whether you're excited about Trump or against Trump. Either way, we got equal levels of hate or love. The thoughts are this. Do you really care right now if your portfolio is up? I mean, you hate people a lot less when you're making money. The problem right now is people are feeling an impact in their portfolios of 10 to 20+% drops. So you have to ask yourself, are you in position? Is your hate now multiplied? And even if you had love, is it more of a like? At the end of the day, in politics, you do not mix politics and investing. They don't work. It's really as simple as that. So now you have to reassess your investment portfolio. Are you going to sell now after the market drop? Well, that doesn't seem very logical, does it? I mean, we had a day, a week or so back, where the market jumped up 10+% in a day. You know what's going to happen when you sell? The same thing's going to happen. Your portfolio is going to drop 10%. Or when you sell, it's going to go up 10%. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's a guarantee. It's a joke. It's a comment that we're making. So what are we talking about here? We're talking in general about discipline. And we're talking about your portfolio. And so there are a lot of things going on. Every time it's an unprecedented moment. So let's be specific and talk tariffs. So when we're talking about the tariffs, what are we really talking about here? We're talking about right now, America and China trying to build a common ground where somebody's not taking advantage of the other person. And right now, there's one side of it that says we're bullying our way through. Another side of it saying we're trying to correct something that's been broken for quite some time. Now, what we haven't seen is other countries retaliate in this. This is leaving solely U.S. and China to go and at it together. When you look at what happened with the tariffs and then the pausing of the tariffs, you've had 150 countries come to the table with America saying, we want to renegotiate. Who's the winners there? You and I are the winners. Now, but guys, China is so expensive. I get it, right? Some of the goods, the cell phones and so on, might cost us more money. But the logic is we're going to pay more on things through China, but we're going to save more on things that we used to have tariffs on that made it more expensive. So the idea, right, wrong, or indifferent, is we're paying more on the China side, but less on everything else. Should net neutral it until China, which quite frankly will yield. Naturally, they're going to yield. There's only so many treasuries that they can sell at a loss. Is that something they really want to do? So what are we discussing here is your retirement. We're trying to talk from a macro point of view that markets go up and down to a micro point of view of looking specifically at the tariffs or specifically at politics. Here's my professional comment. And this is the best way I can articulate it. Who gives a damn? Truly. We always know there's going to be something going on in the markets. That's how it works. It takes information today and has a rapid just ramification of the information that you hear today. Seriously, in 1 to 2 years from now, we're probably going to be where we were or higher. So if you like the stock market 4 months ago, you should sure as hell like it today when it's on sale. Seriously, would you be upset if there was a sale at Costco? A sale at Macy's? Would you be upset if there was a sale at your favorite restaurant, buy one, get one free? No, we get excited for sales. But how come the stock market is the only sale, the only thing that you buy that you get upset about? Because it's emotional, because you feel like you don't have enough control. And I agree, it's because you don't have enough information. You want to know why the rich get richer? It's because they understand the concepts of finance. They understand that the stock market can't go to zero. And let's just say, if you're trying to say, Gabriel, you would bet your life, your family's lives on this, that it could never go to zero. Let's just say you forced me to make that bet. I'm going to say, sure. I'm not going to make that bet. So what I'm saying is there is a chance in hell that it could go to zero. But think about it. Who cares about your bank account at that point? Guess who holds your money at the bank? Fortune 500 banks. So those go to zero, your money goes to zero. Well, let's say you're going to head to the hills, right? Your new retirement is booze and ammunition, right? Well, guess what? The gas at the pump is owned by Fortune 500 companies. The food at the grocery store is Fortune 500 companies. So all of those are out of business. You literally have an apocalyptic situation that's at hand. Why do you really care? Seriously. I'm not trying to be a pessimist here. I'm not trying to provoke you to making you feel like you're making a wrong decision, but you have to think long term outside of the simple fact of my portfolio is down to 10 to 20%. You have to be opportunistic. And the opportunistic point of view is there's money to be made. There's opportunities to be had. You have to stay disciplined. This is where I see people fail in retirement. The best time to retire was yesterday. And if you can't retire today, put yourself in position. No better time than a 10 to 20% head start, a 10 to 20% discount. I love times like this. Why? Because I buy. And I need the media to freak you out. Because when you freak out, you sell and you drive the market. Now, to the listeners, hopefully your clients or aspiring clients or one of my colleagues, we know that I don't want you to lose money. And typically, the people who listen to the show have an interest of money. People with interest of money typically have money. So they're normally smarter than this. So yes, hopefully I'm validating your concerns. But what's happening in the market right now is normal. Now the situation's a little different, but we know we have seen this movie before. And the markets go up, they go down, and they go left and right. So everybody calm down. So is now a good time to retire? Sure. Why not? If your portfolio is properly adjusted. Heck, you could have had some international and some fixed income. They're actually doing not bad, not losing nearly as much. But does it make sense to wait? Well, yeah, because the market dropped 10 to 20%. It would be nice to just hold off on that 1 year of getting income from your portfolio and reinvest it on sale. It can increase your lifestyle. I'm going to make up a number of 5 to 10%. By expanding your retirement and earning potential, by pushing off your retirement and enhancing the amount that you're reinvesting at a low market. When the markets bounce back up, then you retire. That would be my widely recommendation that I would have to the masses. But it's easy for me to tell you to work one more year. I'm not the one getting up to work every day. You are. So not everything is about money. My recommendation is talk to a professional that understands your situation, who can help you. And folks, that's what we do. That's who we are. And we would love to offer a free financial assessment where we'll give you 1 to 2 meetings, 1 to 2 hours of our time at no cost. We got offices all across the country. We would love to help. Reach out to us. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Or visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for short. That was a fast show, folks. I want to thank you for tuning in with us this weekend. You can always reach out to myself or any one of our colleagues here at Falcon Wealth Planning. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Or visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for short, where you can go and visit our Knowledge Center, which redirects you to YouTube. We have over 1 million views, folks. And if you want us to discuss anything on YouTube, on the show, whatever, send your inquiry to radio@falconwp.com. That's radio@falconwp.com. And if you want this episode, any one of our previous episodes, you can go on podcast, Spotify. We have them all there. And folks, we want to thank you for your trust. We want you to feel free and feel comfortable to reach out with any questions that you have. I want you to have a fantastic weekend. Have a great week, and God bless.